Welcome back to TLT Talks. Today, we've got an exceptional show for you. A very, very special guest. Actually, if you're already on and you're already watching, feel free to type into the chat as I give you a couple of the bio points. Feel free to type into the chat who you think this might be. Overseeing revenue, communications, events, regional operations, managing a team of thousands. He joined Compass in 2014, right after me, actually. Hang on a second. He's trying to come on. Here we go. I think we got him. Hey,
Oh
here we
man.
go. Here, I was just reading this laundry list of bio. I got up to join Compass in 2014. I think just after me, just before me.
Yeah, well, I was December 2014.
I was
I
September, right around my
yeah.
birthday. So we were like
Yeah,
right
so yeah,
into
just like
ships in the
right
night.
after. Yeah.
Ships in the night. Well, I could go on and on about you, Rory, but instead, I know just how incredible you are to the organization, to our team personally. I consider you a dear friend and such a resource, and
Likewise.
in many ways, part of why Compass has done all of what is done is directly to
Thank
your
you.
efforts.
Thank you.
But tell the world, man. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Anything you want to share with our audience is cool.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. As
Of
actually, it's
course.
but yeah, you and I have known each other now for 11 years, which is
Yeah,
remarkable.
wild,
It's like pretty
wild,
wild.
wild,
So
man.
I'm Rory Golod. I'm the president of growth in the West region here at Compass. I've been at the company for December will be 11 years. And over those 11 years, I've had just about every job you can have at Compass. I've done literally everything you could do here. And right now I oversee our growth team nationally, I oversee our West region, and I also oversee our comms and events team as well. So I wear multiple hats, and it's been an incredible ride. I love this company. I love our business, and so it's good to be on with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And he's so modest. Here's the biggest hat Rory wears. Okay, so I know that the people in my corner, like the people that work for me and with me, when I go, hey, I got a great idea, I'm kind of expecting everyone to drop everything they're doing, listen to my idea, help me flush it out. And I'm just me with 20 people and a couple, whatever it is. Rory has this with Robert Refkin, and Robert Refkin is an idea machine, a
He is an
conveyor belt, a
he is an
conveyor
idea
belt,
machine.
a conveyor belt of ideas. So Rory's got to be the one. Rev goes, holy shit, hold on, light bulb. Rory's there first to be like, okay, hold on, or let's rock and roll, or whatever. In addition to the 70 million other things we're already doing, so fun and challenging spot to be in, to
Yeah.
juggle all the good stuff. And one of the hardest things for entrepreneurs to do is prioritize. And for you, I
Mhm.
imagine that's especially a fun thing
I,
to work through.
I struggle with it too, but I'm lucky. I've got a pretty good, over the last 11 years, you learn what
Yeah,
doesn't work, and
that's
then you
it.
just build in
That's
things that
it.
try to mitigate the things that don't work. I have a great
That's
chief of
it.
staff and Jacob, and
Yeah, that's it.
just trying to find ways to stay relatively organized. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Robert being an idea conveyor belt is a great analogy because you know how the conveyor belt doesn't stop.
That's
So if
it.
you're not perfectly
Forever.
synced, then the things just keep like piling up, and it's a
Yep.
big mess. So yeah, I have to stay pretty tight on that.
I remember once, Rob, is either Rob or somebody else shared this. This is going 5, 6 years ago, even more. I think even like 7, 8 years ago, where somebody tells me a story that it's like 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. and Rob like bursts into this person's office. I think it was a COO at the time or somebody from C-suite. I forget exactly who. And he walks in. He's like, "Listen, I don't think we're working hard enough. I'm ordering lunch. Let's just stay here. Let's just crank out these three things till like 3 in the morning." And that's what it is. That's what it is when you're a startup. And thankfully, I'm still seeing the startup energy at Compass every day,
Oh,
which is one of the reasons I'm so excited to be here. Because
it's
that's our
it's
philosophy too.
more it's more profound now, I think, in some ways than maybe even the early days. Like the mindset of a startup, which really,
Yeah.
when people say that, is really just you really care. I think
Right.
it's just a substitute
Exactly.
for caring. Do you
Exactly.
care a lot about the things that you're doing?
That's
And
right.
oftentimes what you see is that startup companies really care. They put their life into
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
And it tends to be the story that as companies get bigger and more successful,
Yeah.
they care less. I think we care just as much, if not more now. And that's why that energy, I think, is people feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Rory, as you know me personally, we love to have fun on the show. Give us a fun fact, man. What would people not know about Rory if they look online, or what would they know about you?
So,
What's
all
a
right,
fun fact?
there was, I know you and Jacob had talked about this one fun fact that
Yeah.
I was an ordained minister in the state of New York, which is, that's an okay one. I married my stepbrother and his wife.
I thought you could do better.
Yeah,
To be
so
frank, I thought you could do better.
I have a better one because anyone
All
can
right.
actually do that. You just need to fill out this form and you can marry anyone. Um, I can't snap, wink, or whistle.
There's a something Rory can't do. Does this really exist?
No, I just it's I've never met anyone who can't do like my daughter is 5 and she can wink and she can kind of snap and she can whistle. I can't do any of them. And it's a thing that my family and friends will make fun of me for.
That's awesome.
So it's and it's not because I haven't tried. So
Well, you know what? Fair trade-off. You can't do those things, but you play a mean guitar, man. So
thank
fair,
you. I
fair,
appreciate
fair
that. Thank
trade-off.
you.
If you give me the choice to rip it on an electric guitar or wink and snap my fingers, I'm making that deal all day long, bro.
I
All day long,
appreciate
I'm making
that.
that deal.
I like that.
Well, listen, man. Thank you. I know just how valuable your time is, and you're running this whole big machine. And so today I wanted to bring you on because you're in some ways the godfather of this thing. Certainly someone that's most qualified to talk about it. And it is this thing that Compass has rolled out called the three-phase marketing plan. So I thought rather than me come on and just explain it myself, I thought we'd have you on, you would have you explain it, you and I can kick around different use cases and ideas. So at a very high level for whoever's going to be watching this, which is going to be tens of thousands of agents and tens of thousands of consumers and buyers and sellers, etc.
Mhm.
Why don't we just start with the elementary question of what is this Compass three-phase marketing thing and what are the three steps? Let's just go elementary and then we'll build from there.
At the simplest level, the three-phase marketing plan are 3 phases, like the name, to help sellers sell their home as fast as possible for the most amount of money with the least amount of hassle. And
Beautiful.
the concept of it comes directly from builders and developers. Right? It's actually a thing that we didn't invent. Builders and developers have been doing this for decades. Agents have been doing it for decades. And all it is just running through 3 phases leading up to actually putting the home on the market.
Right.
Historically, in our business, we always thought of the process of selling as just I sign a listing agreement, I put it on the market, the whole world sees, and then I do some marketing and I hope it sells. Right? All this is saying is that you can go through phases before you get there.
That's
First
right.
phase being private exclusive, the second phase being coming soon, and the third phase being on the market. That's it. There's been so much noise and
Right.
conversation around it.
Right.
At the
Right.
simplest level, all it is multi-phase marketing,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
every luxury brand and luxury service in the world does.
Absolutely. Walker Colion here says three-phase marketing is fire. I totally agree.
Walker, what's
I
up,
totally
buddy?
agree. Actually, I was sharing with Rory right before we started this, and along the way, we on TLT we called it a proprietary three-step listing something. I don't even remember anymore because we've adjusted our language. But I started doing this in like 2009, 2010. I certainly wasn't alone, and it was all the same stuff. It was like, well, it's kind of silly to go to market live first when there's all these things you can be doing in advance. And for us, what's really cool, this is why this is, I'm such a big cheerleader of Compass, and people say to me, oh, it's probably because you're a Compass. I say, no, I'm at Compass because I'm such a cheerleader of Compass, right? Like, I mean, agents like myself can be anywhere, and I choose
Yeah,
every day to be here because I really believe in what we're doing and what you guys are doing, yada yada. And so it's something we had done forever. And then, but it was total hand crank. It was total like
yeah.
manual, making phone calls, pulling lists, doing these mega emails. And now it just gave like NAS. It just gave a tech
Mhm.
platform, truly touch versus tech, something we were doing and we were very good at. And then you put it into this platform. And my God, does it make it like 10x? It's even stronger. So why don't we go through it? Why don't we go through maybe each step
Yep.
and then how you feel? I mean, my purview is New York City and three, four maybe boroughs. Your purview is the country, right? And
Yep.
so why don't we go through maybe each step, like what exactly that step is, and then how that's benefited, sellers and agents and or anyone that is benefited. That could
Yeah,
probably
for
be really
sure.
helpful.
So step one is private exclusive phase. And this is the phase where you're going to the homeowner and you're saying, there's so much that we can learn and understand and gather prior to just going on the market. And even if you're looking to move really fast, this is such an important step. I
Hmm.
want to be able to make sure we're priced right. I want to be able to
Right,
make sure we're positioned properly.
right,
Between now when we sign this listing agreement and when the home has been photographed and is actually ready to go online, there's a period of time that we can capitalize on. There's so many reasons as to why you would want to be in a private exclusive phase for
right,
a period of time. Let's
right.
assume it's a couple days. During that couple days, I'm getting feedback from other brokers on how are we positioned? How are we priced?
Totally.
How are we coming onto the market? And especially when you have sellers who are looking for aspirational prices,
Yep.
rather than get into this debate and this argument, a
Yeah.
great thing to do is use the private exclusive phase to
Yeah.
say, okay, look, I
Yeah.
think the home is worth 3 million. You think it's worth 3.5. Why don't we put it on as a private exclusive at 3.5? I will come back to you with five top brokers in my market and their feedback and what their clients are saying. So this way we
Exactly.
don't have to rely on what we think. We can rely on what the market is saying.
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
obviously that phase is so important for building interest and anticipation. That's where you're able to sort of first get people to be interested in it so that when you do go to market, you already have brokers that are aware of the listing. They might
Right.
have told their clients about it. Clients are interested. Some clients want to see it. Some clients maybe want to send it in an offer. Fantastic. The purpose, though, is not to necessarily sell the home as a private exclusive. The purpose is to build the interest and the anticipation
That's right.
so as you go through the next phases, you're geared up and you sort of widen that exposure. So that's phase one. And this is a big statement, but I don't know if there is a listing that shouldn't be a private exclusive first for at least some period of time. I
I would.
don't think
I could.
I
Sorry,
don't
man.
think I don't think there is an actual use case. Even the obvious one people say is, well, what if my client has to sell really fast? They have to sell immediately. Well, if that's the case and you throw it on the market and it
Mm,
sits for 30 days, you didn't
exactly.
sell fast.
Exactly
You
right.
just lost, right? So, or it sits for 45 days or 60 days or 90 days. So, just because you're putting in private exclusive doesn't mean you're losing time. And the second reason is no matter how fast someone wants to sell, there's still a period of time between when you sell sign the listing agreement and the listing goes
Enlisted.
live. And that
Yeah.
time right now is wasted.
Yep.
There's days where it's like, oh, I got to get it shot. I have to clean it up. The homeowner's like, all right, we signed this on a Friday. Hey, put it on the market on Monday. Why can't we use the private exclusive phase to just capitalize on that moment before going into phase two? And so, yeah, I don't know if I've ever come across a scenario where being a private exclusive for at least some period of time
For
is not
sure.
beneficial.
For sure. Well, and because do you know when we were having all these conversations with sellers, we would say to them, the truth is we have this three-step listing process. Most agents start at three, which is, going live or whatever. But the reality is all the risk is on the seller because if you do list it, if you underprice it, sure, maybe you can generate a bidding war, but you've kind of
Yep.
lost that opportunity. If you overprice it, you're branded. Like that's it. You are branded.
Mhm.
You've only got one shot at that first release. And what we called our proprietary first step, which is essentially private exclusive, that's your opportunity to ensure, to mitigate against over or underpricing. And then, as you say, it's exactly right. You are starting. One of my first sales mentors ever, the late Greg Young. I don't know if you knew him,
No.
but Greg Young, he used to have a school. He used to have a saying: "You don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle." And it's this herd mentality thing. And as you get something on, if people start to catch that this is one of these popular listings, it is completely common for a buyer or a buyer's broker without any encouragement from the listing site to say, "What do I got to do so you don't list the apartment?"
Absolutely.
And that language, that is where you get top dollar. So not only are you optimizing for the fastest sale because you didn't even have to go to market, but a buyer will overpay, will add value to their offer to beat out, to not compete, especially in a busy market. So where you say I can't imagine somewhere where you don't, I couldn't agree more. It really should be like staple. Standard
Well,
out.
and
You wouldn't put up
also,
a listing without like photos. You don't go live without PE
thank
first,
you.
like
And
yeah.
and also think of it this way, Eugene. Imagine I think of it if I went to I go on a lot of listing presentations. So I sit
Sure.
in a lot of living rooms with our agents and so I see this live, I test it, I can kind of figure out what works, what doesn't. it's almost odd that we would go to sellers and not do something like this. In
Yeah,
many ways, I think one of the ways in which we can actually show sellers the value of what
right.
a listing agent does is by showing them there are
Exactly.
different things that I'm going to do. If I'm a listing agent, I come in and say, "Great, I'm just going to throw your house on the market. We'll do a open house, and we'll hope for the best." Then it's probably going to be pretty hard for me to articulate value to my seller.
For sure.
Versus coming in and saying, "Look, I have a multi-phase process I'm going to run, and
Right.
each process, each step has a specific outcome that we're getting to, and there's information I'm going to gather during that." You just are so much more organized
Yeah.
and structured when doing it
Yeah.
that way.
Well,
And
and so I'm so
it's
sorry. Let
just
me cut you off.
it's just also one more thing I'd say.
Yeah.
You have some sellers who are ready to sell now, but even when they're ready to sell now, their timing is not perfect. What I
Right.
mean is, I have a friend who called me about selling and said, "I want to sell my home next year, but I'm not sure if I want to sell in the beginning of the year or the spring or even the summer because of life events and things that he has going on." And so he's like, "I'm not sure. Should I put it on in January? Maybe I want to keep it for a couple more months. If I get to the spring, maybe I want to just have it for the summer because I have a backyard and a pool." He doesn't actually know. He knows he wants to sell.
Right.
In that world, three-phase marketing is what will help him because he can use the private exclusive phase to actually determine and calibrate and coordinate.
Right. And he's not fighting days on market. He's not exposed. Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
also, and the last thing that I love about it, there's this myth out there that all brokers are cutthroat and really competitive against each other. And this dispels that too, because now let's say as a seller, you got to choose a broker. In most cases, a seller's already got the to be dramatic, the trauma of what do I price, where do I sell, do I stage, do I not stage? Like there's all these decisions to make. Then on top of that, I got to interview all the different brokers, the family friend, the broker that does all the deals in the building, the broker that helped me buy. Everyone knows 8 to 12 brokers. You finally picked one. And the easiest way to undo any regret is to say, look, before we go live, all these other brokers, we all work together. So even though you've nominated me as your quarterback, they're all on my team. I'm going to go to all of them first and say, here's the price we've chosen. We're going to give you all a heads up. So it creates collaboration, which is how you maximize price versus
Exactly.
cutthroat competition. Man, this is great. I want to get you out on time. I promised you 30 minutes. So let's hit stages 2 and 3 in once, and then
Yep.
let's give people the what they are and the values of those.
So stage two, coming soon phase. This allows you to put the listing on compass.com, which means you can broaden the reach. So now you have more people who can see it just as a private exclusive, obviously, only Compass agents or agents at other firms who go into a Compass office to see it in our listing book, or a
Right,
Compass agent shares with them can see it at that point.
right,
But in the coming soon phase, now anyone searching on compass.com can see it. So now
right,
we've broadened the reach. So we're in step two, where that pie is now a little bigger, but compass.com doesn't display days on market, doesn't show price or status changes, and doesn't and shows the true listing agent, unlike other aggregators. And
right.
so if I'm a seller, I now am in the second phase. More people are seeing the listing. I'm not worrying about days on market hurting me. I'm not worrying about price changes hurting me. My
Right,
listing agent's on there, and I can do that phase for a couple more days, build up that interest and anticipation even more so. And then step three, which is I can go to market and
right.
put it out there across all the different platforms that I want.
Yeah,
And the beauty of this is that agents can use their creativity with their sellers to determine how long are they doing phase one, how long are they doing.
oh, hello, Rory, I lost audio. Hello, hello. Uh-oh, no, I don't hear you.
All right, how about
There you
now?
go. You're back.
All
You're
right.
back. You're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all good.
So they can really broaden that reach without having all those negative insights, but they
Right.
can customize it. So if they
That's
want to
right.
do a week as a private exclusive, but a day as a coming soon, great. If they want to
Yep.
do a month as a private exclusive, but X number of days as a coming soon, they can calibrate it based on what they want.
Yeah,
Now, obviously, there the beauty of this process is that because there are multiple stages and phases, not every person has to follow the same structure.
that's
And
right.
ultimately, one of the things that Compass is advocating for so much in this, and why we've been so out front about this, is agents and their sellers deserve the choice to decide what works for them. There
That's
should
right.
not be one uniform way to sell homes in this country.
That's right.
No home is the same. Every home is different. So if 5 million homes are sold a year on average, five and a half, and all of them are different, there should be 5.5 million different ways you can sell it.
Of
And
course.
this gives agents that flexibility versus portals and entities that are saying, hey, we don't want you to have any flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and for sellers or people that are thinking about selling that might be watching this, look how cool this is. Rather than going on the market, over underpricing, whatever it is, you've gone to private exclusive. You've entrusted your quarterback to expose it to the right people, to the other experts, because there's not any one expert,
Hmm.
to the other experts. And now either you've realized you've priced too low, you've priced too high, etc. Before going to the next phase, you can make that adjustment, raise the price, lower the price, whatever, without
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
stigma of the permanence. Same from step two to step three, right? And everything you said is so spot on. We had a listing in Williamsburg in the Edge. It's a luxury building in Williamsburg that I lived in for a long time. And I had a seller. It was a duplex convertible 3 unit, really beautiful at the time. The market value was probably 2.2, 2.3, but we were in a market that was really appreciating. This is back 21, I think, or something like that. And at that time, private exclusive didn't the Compass three-phase marketing plan didn't exist yet, but we had our own. And it was exactly the equivalent of private exclusive. I basically told them, listen, give me the agreement for a year. I'm telling you that right now, if we launch right now, you're just going to be overpriced. And as we expose it to the market, you're just going to be overpriced. There's no way to undo that. But the way the market's going, I believe in the next 6 to 12 months, the market will catch up. Because I do so much work here, I regularly have inbound people reaching out to me asking, do you have anything coming up? Do you have anything coming up? And as people ask about this size, I'll say, I have this thing. The seller wants 2.6, and there's no danger for you of days on market or overpriced or anything. So I gave him a projection of 12 months. We signed a thing, and 5 months later, we had it in contract at the number that he wanted, and it was all done off market, and it's exactly in the same way that we're talking about. And it gave him everything you're talking about in the way of choice. It gave him the choice of how to intelligently and intelligently execute on this sale. Whereas if he followed the bathrobe traditional model, he would have came on the market, he would have been overpriced, and then when we want to launch it the next time around,
Yeah,
people would see he
exactly.
didn't sell last time. And so, yeah, man, this thing is so valuable. Well, you're seeing this around the country. We have four
Yeah.
minutes left. Any like big success story that comes to mind, or
I mean,
or
oh, there's so
probably
many.
tons, right? Like,
There's so many. I mean, I'm seeing a couple areas. I'm seeing one, agents are winning more listings
sure,
because of this.
naturally, of course,
Definitively. And even if you're someone who wins most of the listing pitches you go on, why not add this to your repertoire?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so that's number one. We're seeing a lot. We're
Startup mentality. There's always room for improvement. There's always
always room
room
to
for
get
growth.
better. We're
Yeah,
seeing a
yeah.
lot of sellers who are more obviously understanding now the value their agent creates.
Sure.
I talk about this dynamic often, which is the best agents are almost too good at what they do, and they shield their sellers and clients overall from the pain and difficulty of transactions.
Yeah.
And when people think something's easy, they're not willing to pay for it, right?
Right.
But if clients really could see the full breadth of what agents do and follow a transaction in that way, it would change their perception of an
Sure.
agent. And this is a
Sure.
way to do that. Not
Yeah.
to mention, this is also a way to help unlock inventory. In this
Right.
country right now, we have a listing shortage, right? We need
Yes.
more listings for sale. Not everyone is a definitive seller on this date.
Right.
But there are probably a lot of people that are passive sellers or sellers who
Right.
would be considering going on market. And
Right.
going through a multi-phase process is a great way to sort of step into that.
For sure.
And then there are immeasurable success stories of people who did a
Yeah.
three-phase strategy and got to the outcome their clients wanted,
Yeah.
whether it was a certain price, whether it was selling during a certain period of time, whether it was the ease of a transaction, whether it was just getting a transaction done for properties that clients were afraid were difficult to sell. But then
Right.
also, there's just as many success stories with the buyers because the buyers are getting the home they want. There are a
Right.
number of buyers that are finding out about a home during the private exclusive phase. Maybe they don't actually buy it until it goes on the market, but that gave them a head start. There's all sorts of things in there where
Yeah.
the benefits are measurable and there are no downsides. So it's
Right.
very odd to me when I hear people who are negative about this concept and against it. The
Right.
only reason you would be against allowing agents to do this is if you wanted to control agents and their listings.
Sure. Sure. Of
And
course.
I don't believe that anyone should control agents and their listings, with the exception of agents and their clients.
Right.
And so there's nobody who can say that they would be against something like this, and if it wasn't for control.
Yeah. Of
And I
course.
believe that
Of
control should
course.
live with agents.
Of course. Well, Rory, on behalf of myself, all the agents at Compass, all the sellers and buyers we represent, thank you all for creating this. What genius work? Like what really genius? You know, we all talk about wanting to help people and yada yada, and in many ways, this helps people move forward. So, you know, my personal mission statement: I live to help people move forward, whether that's personal wealth, real estate, growth, and all the people I coach, whatever it is. And this is absolutely a vehicle that helps people move forward. So, kudos to you and the whole Compass team for putting this
Thank you.
together. 159, we are golden. I know everyone wants some juicy Compass news. Anything you want to share, what Compass is doing next?
I,
Any final thoughts of any
I
kind?
think the juicy stuff right now, the AI tools that are coming. So Ori has posted on his Instagram some of the previews of some of the things. I've seen some of the stuff that hasn't been posted yet. The
Nice.
things that are coming for Compass AI, again, I've been here almost 11 years. I've seen us go from not having a tech platform to this incredible platform we have today. The things I'm seeing Compass AI be capable of doing are 100 times more powerful
Oh, that's
than
awesome.
anything I've ever seen us build before. And so I don't see a world where a year from now, I don't believe there's going to be a single Compass agent that does not say my business and my clients are enhanced because of the Compass AI tools that I have.
I believe it. I
So
believe it. Rory, thank you so much for your time today. I'll give Jake a big thank you as well for all his
I will.
support and setting this up. Love you, my brother. Talk soon,
Love
man.
you too, my man. I'll see you soon. Be well.
See ya. Bye bye.
All right. Take care.